the biggest lesson learned so far for you, Jim, as you've been on this journey and as you think ahead towards the future? What biggest lesson learned so far?
I would say the biggest lesson learned is don't be afraid to invest the capital into the digital wave. Because if you don't invest the capital and invest into the future, you won't have a future. You truly won't.
And that's a great point. I think, to add to that, you talk about invested capital, but it's arguably even, the hurdle is even lower today than it was 20 years ago, right? Because you've got these software as a service model and cloud solutions. So in many ways, you go back 20 years and a TMS would cost, $1 million and then $2 million to implement, right? And, virtually no one can afford that, but the very biggest of the shippers and the 3PLs. But today that hurdle has come down significantly. So I view it as there's really no excuse from a cost standpoint, because there are a lot of, quote unquote, affordable solutions out there. It's just getting over that hurdle.
Yeah.
And Prasad, your thoughts, biggest lesson learned?
I think what Jim said is absolutely right. There's no reason not to. I mean, you have to invest in technology. Where I would go and say is, for our audience listening, 3PLs and brokers, don't hodgepodge technology. Have a clear mindset of where you want to go. Like, Jim has a very good roadmap, right? He has a clear goal of where he wants to go. Have a clear goal of where your organization should be in 2 years, 5 years from now. Back connect those dots and say, I need a technology to do X, Y, Z. And don't hodgepodge technologies. The reason I say that is, at the end of the day, your technology is also your connectivity, unless it is your own TMS, your connectivity with either your carriers or shippers. Now, it's very important on the carrier side, because their strength drives your strength as a 3PL to your customer who is a shipper. So provide a technology that you can keep a bigger group of carriers onboarded, keep them happy and profitable. So I think that is the key thing in my viewpoint.